Hi Gemini, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for the final week of December going into January. I hope you guys are all well. I am going to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Gemini out there, so guys, take what resonates for you, leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, get in where you fit in. But as always, Gemini, please don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Gemini? Gemini. Gemini. All right, Gemini, you're starting out with the Seven of Wands reversed. You have the Ace of Pentacles. And you have the Three of Swords. All right. So it looks like you might be getting some kind of an influx of money in the near future. That's good. There's something to do with a new beginning, a stable new beginning. This could be financial, but it could also be with regard to relationship. If either way, it's almost like you've kind of been feeling like you've had to fight against the world. Everybody and everything has been coming at you. That's kind of resolving. And as that resolves, stability is coming into your life. There is still a sense of heartbreak, though, over some kind of a situation. It could have been third-party energy, but it doesn't have to be. But there's definitely heartbreak here. So it's almost like you've been fighting all these battles. They're now resolving. You have this new beginning that's happening here. But there's still a little bit of a sense of heartbreak in your energy. So let's see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Gemini's energy. Show me who's in Gemini's energy. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Two of Wands. We have the Hangman reversed. And coming out together, we have the Fool along with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Pisces energy is here. Very strong Pisces energy, actually. So the person in your energy, I do feel like this is somebody that you have had an ending with. There's been a period of time that may have gone past. And this person, I feel like they're wanting to have some sort of a new beginning, or they're having a new beginning. This is somebody that broke your heart here, Gemini. I feel like this is somebody you were in a long-standing relationship with. This person ended the connection, and now there's like this energy of them having this new beginning. Now, I'm not sure if it's with you or it's elsewhere, because we still have this heartbreak here, so we'll have to clarify that. But this person is making plans with regard to you. There's some sort of plans this person is making. There's decisions that have to be made, and this person's trying to figure out what kind of decision they want to make. In the past, this person may have felt like being in this connection, that they were trapped in the connection. They're no longer feeling that way. Let me see. It's like I see the energy of somebody that has freed themselves, and they have this new beginning going on. So let me see the energy between Gemini and this person. Show me the energy between Gemini and this person. The Eight of Pentacles. You both are looking at everything that has occurred between the two of you. If there's been conflict, you want to work that out. You want to end any conflict. And this person is also looking at everything. You could work with this person, but this is the energy of wanting to put in that effort, wanting to examine this. And I feel like you're both really examining this situation right now. For some of you, this person could live at a distance. They had this impression here, Gemini, that there was something toxic, that they were stuck in the connection. And they're starting to kind of feel like they have freed themselves from that. And that's where this new energy is coming from, this beginning here. Let me see. Show me what's affecting this connection. Yeah, it was unbalanced. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. There was an imbalance in the connection. This person feeling like there was toxicity, you longing for the stability. Finances may have been affecting the connection as well, but it was not an equal give and take within this connection, and you're both aware of that. Let me see the outcome for Gemini. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, you don't trust this person. You're afraid that if this person does come back towards you, that they're just going to try to hurt you again. You feel like this person cut you out of their energy here, and that they then bebopped off to have this brand new beginning. So I do feel like you're angry with this person. You're hurt. You're angry. You feel like they were very cutting in the way that they handled things as well. At the bottom of the deck, we have Judgment in the reverse. That's underlying energy, Scorpio energy. There's also Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy here. But with the underlying energy being Judgment in reverse, you may be feeling like you invested more time than you should have with this person. You may be feeling as if there's no stability, and you just don't want to make a poor judgment call. There's a feeling here like, there's a feeling like you were trying to build something, Gemini, and you wound up with extra pieces, And that's never a good feeling, because you're like, well, there's no stability to that. At any point, this could fall apart because it's not been built correctly. So let's clarify this connection. Spirit, why is the Seven of Wands in reverse for Gemini? Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, there's the conflict, Five of Wands. So I feel like you were either married to this person or you were in a long-term connection with this person. I also feel like right now you're avoiding any kind of conflict. You don't want to have conflict with anyone because you feel like your back's been up against the wall for a long time. You've had all kinds of conflict. I'm also seeing that for some of you, there's a situation financially or possibly even at work that you had conflict, and you felt like you needed to just kind of mind your own business. You needed to, avoid conflict at work for somebody out there. I wouldn't worry about that too much, because it looks like if you do that, if you take care of yourself and, just avoid the conflict, that everything's going to work out well. So I wouldn't concern myself too much with that. But with regard to this person, it looks like there was a lot of conflict back and forth. And I feel like you just don't want to deal with conflict anymore. Let me see why the Ace of Pentacles is here. You also are pouring that love into yourself. You're really doing a lot of self-care right now, Gemini. You're very focused on your finances. You're focused on your home, children if you have children. And you just don't want to deal with the conflict. And you feel this relationship with this person brought a lot of conflict. You have the World in reverse and you have the Devil in reverse. Yeah, you're working on your money. I can definitely see that. You don't feel like things are completely over between you and this person, though. If you had any toxic traits, they may have cropped up during this connection. That might have been part of why it was unbalanced. But if that's the case, you've been working on that. You're coming out of any kind of toxic energy, but you also don't want anything toxic. It could have been this person you felt was toxic. Regardless, you don't want the toxic energy. You want something stable, something that will go the distance. That being said, you're not quite, you feel like there's definitely some unfinished business in this connection. Why is the Three of Swords here for Gemini? King of Wands, Queen of Wands reversed. You're in your male energy. Even if you're a female, you're definitely pulling on that male energy in order to, deal with the heartache. But here's the thing, is that you felt, Gemini, like this person was your absolute ultimate person. This was an extremely passionate connection. There was a lot of passion here. But now you're saying to yourself, okay, well, we're not on the same page. we're just not on the same page anymore. And this is what has hurt me. This is what has broken my heart. And you're a little bit angry with this person. There's this sense of feeling like this person cut you out. That here you were, the perfect partners, the perfect relationship, but they cut you out. And I feel like, you know, you are looking good, smelling good, you know. People genuinely enjoy being in your presence here. But I also feel like you're kind of turning your back on this situation because you have been heartbroken here. And you are holding this person responsible for that heartbreak. You want nothing to do with toxic energy. You want stability. So let me look at their energy. Spirit, what is the Two of Wands here for the person in Gemini's energy? All right, we have the Sun. And we have Judgment in reverse. They're afraid of making a poor judgment call. So they're kind of analyzing things. They're looking for clarity. They're analyzing the past. They're analyzing what's going on currently. This person does see you as happiness, but they're definitely afraid of making a poor judgment call. So let me see why the Hangman is in reverse. At some point, this person felt like that this connection was toxic and they had to free themselves from it. Yeah, because they feel like it was unbalanced. They may have felt like they were being breadcrumbed, or it just wasn't an equal give and take between the two of you. They're hoping that you're going to come towards them with this love offer. But I don't see that happening because I feel like they've waited for a very long time for you to come towards them, to balance things out, and I don't see that happening. I feel like you're working on your own stability and definitely focused on your finances, but they have feelings for you. They're just very afraid of making some sort of a bad judgment call with regard to this connection. Let me see the bottom energy for the person in Gemini's energy. That's too many. We're going to try. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. All right. We have the Lovers reversed. The King of Swords. And the Magician. So again, I'm seeing that the two of you are perfectly suited as far as, you know, energies. They also feel that the two of you were a divine couple. You both feel that way. However, this person they chose to go in another direction. Now, for some of you, they could have had a choice between two, but I feel like what they were doing here, I don't even see like another person necessarily involved. They have some sort of new beginning that, you know, they have manifested here, or they're manifesting. It doesn't necessarily have to be another person. For some of you, it is, and this person went into another direction. They went with, you know, they had a new beginning with someone else, and they did manifest that. It could have been a Gemini, possibly a Libra or an Aquarius, but Gemini energy is very strong here. So this person, I do feel like, is focused on you, even though they don't want to be, and a part of them still wants to have this connection. Yeah, because they feel like the two of you were supposed to be together. That's what I'm getting here. They feel like the two of you were supposed to be together, but it wasn't balanced. It wasn't equal. They felt like there was toxicity. You felt like there was toxicity. There was definitely a lot of fighting that was going on. And you both don't want to go back into something that is going to be toxic. So I do feel like this person is being honest with you. I don't feel like they're lying about anything. There's an energy here of them being very honest, very direct. They are hoping that you would come to them with a love offer, and that hasn't materialized. They're tired of waiting for it, and that's why they're manifesting this new beginning. Let me see the energy between Gemini and this person. Page of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Scorpio energy, Sagittarian energy, Temperance. Yeah, you're just trying to get your energies balanced. All the squabbling, all the fighting, all the conflict, is very disruptive to your energy. I also feel like you're working on your spirituality, which is very good. Now, some of you have somebody new in your energy. And actually, I'm seeing that for both of you. You may have been avoiding this person. You both have met somebody new, it looks like. I do feel like there is some small communication between the two of you. But this person is moving intuitively. They're looking for clarity. They're moving intuitively. They secretly are hoping that you will offer them something, though. They definitely are. I feel like they don't want to make a bad judgment call, so they're looking for clarity. They're definitely leaning into that intuition. Let me see the Six of Pentacles reversed. The Hermit, you're soul searching too. And the Four of, see, you're mirroring each other, the Four of Pentacles. So they're still holding on to the idea that you're going to come towards them, that you're going to bring this love offer towards them. And you're trying to figure out how to bring about more balance, more stability, how to take yourself out of any kind of toxic energy. So you're kind of staying to yourself. You're doing a lot of healing, a lot of soul searching. If there is any communication, it's very small. And I do feel like you're more focused on yourself right now. And that's the stable beginning that you have here. This person is manifesting a beginning as well. But I feel like you're more in this isolative, soul searching, definitely leaning into spirituality. There's prayers that are being offered here. You just don't want anything that's not stable. You want something that is lacking the toxic energy that was in this connection. They're still holding on to your energy, but they're guarded because they don't feel like it was balanced or equal, but neither of you do. They haven't let go of the idea that you are going to come towards them with this love offer. So I feel like almost it's this energy that they feel if they hold out long enough that you will eventually come towards them. Let me see the outcome for Gemini. All right, we have the Ace of Cups reversed. We have the Ten of Swords reversed and the Two of Cups. So in the outcome, I do feel like you're healing. You feel like this person betrayed you when they ended this connection because you felt like the two of you were the perfect couple. So there's a sense here of heartbreak and betrayal. And that's why you're upset. That's why you're angry with this person. You feel like they cut you out and you feeling like it was just not necessary. In their energy, they're trying to heal as well. They could also be a little bit angry because I do feel like they felt that you were going to come for them and you're not. You haven't. You've been working on yourself. There is somebody here that they are having some sort of a new beginning with. And I do feel like they're going to choose to move into this new beginning. They've manifested this. They have likely talked to you about it, or they're not trying to hide it. They're being very open about it. But I do feel like you're both healing, but somehow you're both in each other's energy because you're still examining what took place here. And the fact is that the two of you were ideally suited, but just you both are recognizing you're not on the same page. This person deeply hurt you. Yeah, they deeply hurt you. And I do feel like you are recovering from that. But I also feel like you're angry with them and you're not going to let them off the hook. And you don't feel like you should be coming after them. So what they've done instead is they're manifesting another connection here. So bottom of the deck is the Ten of Coins in the reverse. That's in their energy as well. And so it does indicate that there is an ending here. There is a loss that both parties are feeling. But I do see this person, because you're in this energy of healing, you're in this energy of, trying to figure out what went wrong and soul searching here. This person is going to move in another direction, at least for the time being. So let me pull a oracle card and see if there's any advice for Gemini. All right, you have the moon. So it's talking about duality, hidden gems, secret powers. It says, what if your strangeness is actually your brilliance? And it is the number 4. 4 generally does indicate stability. I know that stability is a big issue for you right now, Gemini. So let me read this for you. Your affirmation says, I am discovering the magic treasure hidden within me. There's something about yourself or your life that you've been judging harshly, a characteristic, a perceived flaw, personality type, or secret interest that has become an insecurity. Perhaps something that makes you different, something you believe to be a negative in your life. Maybe this thing has caused others to have a negative opinion of you. This has caused you to want to hide or dismiss it. The universe is asking you to reconsider and question this narrative. There's a gem that needs your recognition to shine. Will you polish it, letting it unleash its powers? It has so much to offer and teach you. This weakness you have could actually be your strength. What if it can lead you to a huge awakening? What if this trait that seemingly hinders you actually helps you in much more profound ways? What if you could learn to embrace, accept, and love it instead? Only then can you be fully realized and empowered by it. Often our gifts may be disguised as trash. We may see our blessings as curses, even though they have so much magic to give to us and others. There is duality to everything. So it's basically telling you that there are hidden, gems within this situation, that if you can change your perspective, it will teach you a lot. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you, Gemini. If you've resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And until I see you in your next reading, Gemini, know that you are loved, and namaste.